Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another 2017 case review. Today we have singles case A. Now although A is the first letter of the alphabet, this is not the first 2017 singles case. There has already been case R, which I reviewed in early January. If you want to check out that review, the link to it will be in the description below. And there has also been case S, which I haven't reviewed yet, but I do plan on reviewing it sometime in the future. So I'm really excited to move on to this case because there are some awesome cars in it. As you can see, the four main featured cars of this case are Flik, Kevin Shiftright, Tim Rimmer, and over on the left here, Tolga Trunkov. So I will be reviewing those four in addition to Erik, Lanley, and Darryl Cartrip with headset. I think these six are the most significant from the case and are definitely worthy to be reviewed in my case review. Now this is actually the first 2017 case review that hasn't been an unboxing, so I'm sorry about that guys, but I can't be dropping $90 for every singles case because there are a lot per year. So it'll be kind of like a sometimes deal, like occasionally there will be a case unboxing, but most of the time the case unboxings will be for deluxe cases because they're only like $45, and most of the deluxes are new to me and there are ones I want to keep in the package. But getting on to this now, I got these from a bunch of different places. So I originally got Tim Rimmer, which is that guy over there on the right, Flik, and Tolga Trunkov from Amazon, along with Erik, Laneley. They were $4 each add-on items, so I scooped them up. And then I found a bunch of remnants of this case in Target stores. I have not found any of this case in Walmart stores, at least in the United States. Now, I don't think that this case is even available at Walmart. I think it might be a Target exclusive, but literally every Target I've gone to, they have this case. But it has been super hard for me to find Flik and Kevin Shiftright. So at the last Target I stopped at on my whole hunting day on President's Day, which was last Monday, I found Kevin Shiftright. So I was super excited because that enabled me to do this video. So that's why we're here today. And if you want to see me run around from Target to Target trying to find this case, then you can check out episode 4 of The Hunt on my channel, which I'll be uploading later on this week. So stay tuned for that. And now before we get into the reviews of the packaging of these cars, just want to tell you guys about Amazon and that whole situation. So if you order these guys from Amazon, just be aware that the packaging might come damaged and maybe the die cast as well. This Flik here I got from Amazon, and it's one of the best cards I've ever gotten from Amazon. The only problem is that the plastic blister here is dented, and so I will be opening it in this video, but just keep in mind that Amazon doesn't care. They think you're a kid that's going to open that up, and some of you may be, you may want to open it up, and that's completely fine. But if you're a collector out there who wants to keep this in the package and hang it on your wall or put it in a box for years to come, whatever, just be aware that it might come in a padded envelope, and therefore it's most likely going to be damaged, like down here. And surprisingly, this one's actually really good, and if only the blister wasn't dented. So what I ended up doing basically is receiving the ones I already talked about from Amazon and then returning them when I found them at Target, because the ones at Target are so much better. They're in much better condition. So just wanted to give you guys that warning, because I know a lot of people end up being victims of Amazon's carelessness. I know I've been a victim plenty of times. So what I do now is pretty much only order cars from Amazon that I'm going to open up, like Flik here. So it actually worked out pretty well. So now let's get into a review of the packaging of these guys here. So starting with Flik, he's an awesome character. I love the art that they gave him. It's actually brand new. The art for Kevin and Tim is brand new as well. So that is awesome. He's in the Drive-In series, which is a brand new series for 2017. You can see that nice background back there. Very nice. He is number 1 out of 5 in the series. On the back, you can see Flik, PT Flea, which was in case R, and Mike, and he is going to be in case B, which is the next case, if you go by the alphabet. But yeah, Mike is going to be in the next case. You can see Mike up there. Sully is in a 2-pack with Yeti that actually has been found at Target stores in the USA. So pretty much all of these are out right now. Mike is on eBay. So this series is pretty much done. 5 out of 5. Kind of disappointing. They definitely could have done a lot more with this series, but I don't know why they chose not to. Maybe they'll do more with it for a future year. The description for the series reads, "You never know what must-see movies will be showing at the Radiator Springs Drive-In Theater." So yeah, that's pretty much where Flik appeared. He was in the car-ified version of A Bug's Life. Very, very cool indeed. Of course, where all the circus cars appeared as well. And this is actually the background of the circus cars, I believe. So it's kind of reused. I just noticed that actually. Here's Kevin Shiftright, a Piston Cup racer in the Piston Cup series, number 6 out of 11. And he's actually clutch A number 121. They actually don't call the racers by their sponsors anymore. They use their actual names. I like that very much. On the back here, you can see the Lightning McQueen, Krusty Rotor, who's going to be in case B. Johnny Blamer is in case A, which is this case, and case S. So I will review him in my case S video. Manny, Flywheel, and Brush Kerber are in case R, so I already reviewed them. And Todd Marcus is yet to be announced in any cases as of, currently right now. The description is the King and Chick Hicks and Lightning McQueen compete in a tiebreaker race to win the Piston Cup Championship. And you can see right here the Los Angeles International Speedway. Chick Hicks is up on the stage. They're about to receive his Piston Cup. And ironically, Tim Rimmer is right there in the front row of media cameramen. Of course, Tim Rimmer is right there, so pretty coincidental that he's right there. I'll show you guys where he exactly appeared when we get to him loose on the table, but I don't like this picture. I never have, because this is the race where only the King, Chick Hicks, and Lightning McQueen race, as it says right there. But look, all these other racers, all of them were not at that race. So just really, really weird. And yeah, they really should make it like a description and picture for the Motor Speedway of the South race, which was the first race in the movie. So, but whatever. It's not a huge deal. I love the art for this guy, so I'm just going to look at him and not look at the back. Moving on to Tim Rimmer here. He's in another new series for 2017, Piston Cup Reporters, and you can see the LA Speedway there in the background where he appeared. Number 6 out of 10. Very, very cool. I do not really care for this art though, even though it's new. I wish they used the art that they used in 2010, because when I show you where he appeared, this art does not match really his character and personality, because he's screaming. As you can see, he's screaming and he looks so happy there. So I guess maybe they're trying to appeal to kids even more. I think that's what they're going for. On the back here, you can see Dash, Boardman, Andrea Artie, Corey Turbowitz, and Maddie, with the description reading, "Crowds of reporters gathered to cover the Piston Cup race and answer the question race fans of all ages are asking, who will win the coveted Piston Cup?" And you can see right there, Lightning McQueen surrounded by a bunch of reporters. So I actually really like the description and the picture, because it makes sense, right? It makes sense that you have reporters there and you have reporters in the series. Unfortunately though, most of the cars in this series are re-releases. I mean, check this out. Released in 2016, released in 2015, released in 2015, released in 2015. Maddie, that's a different story. Maddie, I'm okay with Maddie. But Tim Rimmer is actually pretty good as well, since his last release was in 2010. But those other ones on the back, heck no, I could have gone without those, absolutely. Moving on to Tolga Trunkov now. He's in another new series for 2017 called London Chase. He's number 7 out of 11 in the series. On the back, we can see Victor Hugo, or as they just call him, Victor H, who's going to be in case B. Same with Don Crumlin there, who actually didn't appear in this London Chase scene. So I don't know why he's in this series, but whatever. We have Tubbs Pacer with Paint Spray and Race Team Sarge. those were in case R. And the picture shows Vladimir Trunkov with Car Boot, who actually will be in case B as well. I'm really looking forward to him. He'll probably be my favorite from that case. The description reads, the Lemon's quest to become the most powerful cars in the world ends with a thrilling chase through the busy streets of London. Very nice. We're getting a couple new cars in this series. Not like an insane amount like the Rusty's Racing series last year, but an acceptable amount. Moving on to the additional 2, we have Darryl Cartrip with headset. It's kind of weird how he's in the package there on a slant. I guess he'd be too wide, but I don't remember them doing that with the 2013 release. But anyway, he's in another new series for 2017 called World Grand Prix Reporters, the counterpart for the Piston Cup Reporters, the Cars 1 version of this series. And very nice art. I like the Tokyo arc in the back there. He's number 3 out of 4 in the series, so yeah, a very, very small series. The other car in the series is Brent Mustangburger with headset, who is in case R. The picture shows Lightning McQueen for some weird reason. I mean, is McQueen a World Grand Prix reporter? I don't think so. So I have no idea why they didn't show like all the announcers lined up in Tokyo, because they were in that box, you know, kind of doing the pre-race commentary, and that would have been a great picture. Or maybe just some random World Grand Prix reporters, because we know that most likely the other 2 cars in this series will be like background reporters. I think one's a Mini Cooper and the other one is a Puget. But anyway, the description for the series reads, with 3 different races in 3 different countries, reporters around the world gather to cover the once-in-a-lifetime World Grand Prix. So, you know, the description's pretty good, but picture, not so much. I really do like the art for him though. I love that Tokyo arch in the background. That just really tops it off for me and kind of adds to the reason why I bought him. I'm not sure if I would have bought him if the art didn't look so appealing. But last but not least, here we have Erik Lanley, and there's actually quite a bit to talk about for his art. And now you might know about this story, or you might not, and that's completely okay. So, back in 2012, when he was originally released, here he is, and you can already tell right off the bat that the art is different. The art on the 2012 version, and just so you guys know, the 2013 version as well, but you can just kind of take the 2013 version out of your mind. You just need to know that really it shows this art, which is Erik Lanley as the Honda Civic. Now, just so you guys know I talked about this on my channel before, but for each of the World Grand Prix races, there was a different flag waver. And just so you guys know, I mean, obviously Erik is the flag waver, but Tokyo, Erik was the flag waver. He's the Honda Civic. Makes sense because Honda is a Japanese car brand. Then in Italy, the flag waver was a Fiat, which is this guy right here. You can see the Fiat logo right there. And then in London, it was an Austin Mini Cooper flag waver. All of them were white with the same decals, you know, pretty much the same decals, but the models were different. Now, in 2011, along with this version of the art, there was actually a card back variation that had the Fiat version of Erik on there as well, which was super rare at the time. I'm pretty sure it was only an international release, so if you see that nowadays, that is super rare. And just to clarify, the super rare version that I'm talking about is this version right here, but with this picture instead of that one right there. I know this gets a little confusing, but you know, it is a confusing topic because Mattel keeps changing it on us. 2011, we had this and this on this same Portacorsa Cars 2 packaging. In 2013, we just had this. Now we're in 2017, and we have that. So this really is inaccurate because are we getting a Fiat? Nope, that is definitely a Honda Civic, so it is very strange to me why they keep kind of going back and forth, but just keep in mind that you're not getting a Fiat in the package, you're getting a Honda Civic, which is the Tokyo, the Japanese flag waver for that race. It would be cool if they released this one instead of Erik, because we've gotten Erik before, he's not rare at all, or maybe the London Austin Mini Cooper one, you know, whatever. I know I keep rambling, but this kind of bothers me, and it's kind of weird as well. But anyway, he's in the World Grand Prix Series 7 out of 13 in that series. The back shows Lightning McQueen in his World Grand Prix deco, Nigel Gearsley, Alex Carville, Francesco Bernoulli, Raul Cerul, and Max Schnell. And just to avoid any confusion, Alex is a security guard, even though he looks pretty similar in decals to the flag wavers. The description reads, the World Grand Prix will determine who is the fastest car in the world. 3 races in 3 countries and only 1 champion. And then you have a picture there of McQueen and Francesco about to race in Porta Corsa. So that is all for the packaging of all these guys. I have them all loose on either side of me, and so we'll review them. And the only one that I will be opening up is Flik, because he's actually the only one that, well, I do have him, but he's damaged. Like, here he is. He's damaged, so that's why I'm going to get this fresh one. Maybe someday I'll open up this Kevin Shiftright to get like a fresh one-eye variation. Whoa. Flat eye variation. I just called him a one-eye variation, like he has an eye patch or something. But no, just to go over it now, I guess we'll just go over it now. But all the piston car racers nowadays have flat eyes, with the exception of the King and Chick Hicks. They don't really have flat eyes. They have the raised eyes, which is how it used to be. You can see this Kevin Shift right here from like 2009. It has raised eyes, so when you move your finger across it, your finger kind of jumps up when it hits that blue portion right there because there's depth to it. But nowadays, it's completely flat going across, with the exception for a couple, like I said, the King and Chick Hicks. Although, just a quick interjection here, maybe the King and Chick Hicks from the new Movie Moments series with the pit stop barriers will have flat eyes. I don't have them yet, but they were just released, so hopefully soon I'll be able to get them. And that's pretty much it. I do want to show you guys 2 more cars real quick that I picked up from the case. I am always and always will be a fan of Radiator Springs Townies, so I picked up these guys here, Luigi, Guido, and Doc. They're on perfect cards, no interferences there, like with the Cars Daredevil Garage Chat being over here, so these look awesome, so I definitely picked them up. But I've reviewed them before, so no need to review them in this video, but if you like them, you can keep your eye out for them, or eyes out for them. What am I doing with this whole one eye kind of theme going on here? But you can keep your eyes out for them if you want them, because they are in this case A. So I'll be right back with Flik opened up. Alright guys, let's start with Darryl Cartrip with headset. He's my least favorite, so I usually start there and work my way up to my favorite. But nonetheless, he obviously appeared throughout Cars 2. Now this is a Cars 2 release. Even though Darryl did appear in Cars 1, he never appeared in Cars 1 with a headset on. Kind of strange to think about it like that, but it is true. Of course, he appeared in Tokyo with the headset on, Italy as well, I'm sure London as well, in addition to those other 2 locations. His only previous release just like this was in 2013 in the World Grand Prix series. That was his first release, but a year before that, he received a Lights and Sounds release, and as you can see, the expressions are different, but they're both metal and they're very similar. Of course, you can see that the headlights there are plastic because they actually light up, obviously, lights and sounds. So let's give it a test. You gotta check out or click this back window here. You can see the difference. It's opaque versus kind of like, I don't know, it's not really transparent on the right version either, but it's rather clear versus definitely opaque on the left. So let's give it a little shot here. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but he just said Lightning McQueen is looking good. It's actually pretty cool, you know, the lights light up and he says something that is a little muffled, but does come out of the speaker down here. Maybe I'll do a video on lights and sounds cars in the future. I don't have that many, but since I have him because this guy wasn't out yet, so it was the best thing at the time. I didn't know they were going to make this, so I was like, need to have Darryl Cartrip with headset, so I got that. And what's actually pretty funny is that there's a canceled version of Brent Mustangburger with headset from the Lights and Sound series. It's canceled. It's super rare. There were only a couple made, but you can see all the announcers from Cars 2 lined up just like that. David Hobbscat will not be in Cars 3, but I'm pretty sure Brent and Darrell will be, along with a bunch of other new media and press guys. I think there's like Mike Joyride, Shannon Spokes, bunch of awesome new characters for Cars 3. But getting on to Darrell here, of course, he's a retired piston cut racer, and he still kind of sports his piston cut motif with the black Lightyear tires and silver rims. He has his flame design on there, number 17. On the back, you have your famous catchphrase for Darrell, boogity, 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 and then it continues on, let's go racing, but it just says boogity, boogity, boogie there on him. DWstore.com, kind of funny because it's actually a real thing, so it's like promoting something in real life, but actually I remember he had a signed version of Darryl Cartrip in the package on that website. Not entirely sure if it's still there, but that would be cool. On the base here, we got nothing really exciting. And that's pretty much it for Darrell. Like I said, he's my least favorite from the case, but still a cool release nonetheless. I do like the expression because it's different from just the normal Cars 2 Darryl Cartrip, which is this one right here. It's kind of different, pretty different actually, if you check that out. So very cool, but other than that, they are the same. And just for laughs and giggles, here is the Cars 1 version of Darrell. Pretty much the same, slightly different in paint, different expression as well. We'll be revisiting Darrell quite soon on my channel because he just got re-released in a 2-pack with Bob Cudless with some new microphones. So I will definitely be buying that to review for you guys. Just haven't been able to find it or get it on Amazon yet, but hopefully soon. Fingers crossed. Up next is Erik Laneley. Starting with his appearance in Cars 2, like I said before, he only appeared as the flag waver for the Tokyo World Grand Prix race, and that was it for him. So a very, very small role, and he didn't even speak. But he's actually been released a lot, starting with his 2012 release that I already showed you guys. Here it is. Pretty cool. Here's the back as well if you're interested. There were a lot of chases during this year. You can see Courtney, Becky, and then Officer Murakami there. But Erik was not a chase. Too bad. Poor Erik. He has gone through a lot because, like I said, Mattel keeps changing the art for him. But in 2013, he was then re-released, as I already talked about. 2017, he got another single release, and that's the one we're reviewing now, even though this is actually a 2012 release. It's the same thing. There hasn't been any changes. And then his last release I want to mention is from 2015. It was in a 4-pack that only hit stores internationally, like in the United Kingdom. And that pack also included Bob Motor, I think it was Francesco Bernoulli. Wait, no. It was probably McQueen and Carlo Veloso, or Francesco Bernoulli and Carlo Veloso. But he was in that 4-pack. And I'll be showing pictures to refresh your guys' memory or to, show you guys for the first time if you haven't seen it before. But he is a Honda Civic, and there are a lot of Hondas in the Cars line. I'll show you guys those in a moment here. But he has a World Grand Prix logo there on his hood. And now this flag actually came detached. Here, I'll show you guys. But it was too wide to go actually on the cars, so they separated it, as you can see there, so you'd have to attach it. But on the new release, it's actually attached for you, so I guess they widened the blister. But this one actually might be removable, but I don't want to break it, so we're just gonna leave it in. You guys get the idea. It does not connect to the tire. It actually connects right there to the fender. He has World Grand Prix written there with the logo. On the back here, we have the Honda logo, and the license plate reads 02-28 with some Japanese characters around it, along with 122 above it as well. On the side, exactly the same. Pretty cool rims. Happy guy. And here's the base if you're interested. Moving on to the other Hondas released in the Cars line. We have Nick Cartone, who was also released in 2012 and has not been re-released since. He would make a great re-release for the World Grand Prix Reporter series, actually, but I don't believe they're going with him this year, and that's fine. I prefer new releases anyways, but he is the exact same model. I guess you can kind of split hairs and say he's technically different because he has the hole for the microphone and does not have the hole for the flag, so that makes them technically different, but they all stem from the same thing pretty much. Here is Max the Car, a shoe to the Roki fan, very rare. was only released internationally, and even that was only released in the United Kingdom, I think, and maybe a couple other countries in Europe. But again, same model, although you can technically say it's different because he has different holes here for his flag. Does not have the hole for the checkered flag there, which obviously is the flag waving flag. Pretty cool, although I don't know if he might be actually my favorite Honda. I really like this red one. And here's the last Honda Civic that really stems from the same Honda Civic that Erik does. And the only reason why I'm saying this is because there's actually another Honda Civic that is smaller than all the ones I've been showing. So we'll get to that after a hikey here. And now, yes, I know, very similar to Maxicar. They're both red, but as you can see, they're different in their own ways as well. Now, I like Hikey a lot. He's the most recent Honda that has been released in, I think, like February of 2016. So come up on, or actually has passed his 1-year anniversary. So happy 1-year anniversary, Hikey. Same thing with Autobahn and all those other guys that came out around the same time last year. And here's the guy that is smaller. Quite weird if you ask me, Mike Fuse. So as you can see, he is actually smaller than Erik Lanley and all these other Hondas. Especially if you look in the back window there, you can see it right away. And I know it's kind of hard to see from the front, but if you look here on the back, you can definitely spy difference in design and casting. Now this is super weird because Mike Fuse was released in late 2015. Hikey was released in early 2016, so it's kind of weird. They were kind of going for this like larger scale all along, then they dipped down to the smaller version and then went back to the big version. So really weird, but whatever. It's Mattel logic, right guys? So oh well, those are the 5 Hondas. Let me know which one is your favorite. We have here, I'll show you guys them all. Erik Lanley, Mike Fuse, Hikey, and Maxicar, and Nick Cartone. Come here, Nick. And so I think my favorite, it's probably Maxicar, Nick Cartone, or Erik Lanley. Yeah, I know I'm bad. The reason why I don't like Mike, well, you know what? Maybe Mike's my favorite because he's probably the most accurate. I feel like a Honda Civic would be around that size and not this larger size. So, you know what? We'll go with Mike Fuse. He has the most accessories anyway. He's got the bandana and the tray with the all-in-all can. So we'll just go with him. I know, kind of getting complicated here, but let me know what your favorite is down below. And of course, after this entire review, let me know out of these 6, which is your favorite model. So now, let's move on to the next car. Here we have Tolga Trunkov. Of course, he appeared in Cars 2 as one of the bodyguard lemons. And just so you guys know, to distinguish bodyguard lemons from just background lemons, the bodyguard lemons are all black and they kind of look like they have suits on, whereas the other lemons, the background ones, are kind of all rustic and, you know, look like this. So you guys get the idea there. Now, he most likely appeared toward the end of the movie, you know, as the series kind of tells us, during the London fight scene. Now, there are a bunch of black Trunkovs during this scene, but I think the one that he is the one that is to the left of Vladimir Trunkov. You can see in the scene there, kind of looks like that, right guys? So yeah, I think that's where he appeared. I'm pretty sure it is. I think it is. So we'll just go with that. And he didn't speak at all. He was just kind of one of those bad guys, a part of their whole corporation. Probably is in jail now. So poor Tolga Trunkov. Unless he got out now. I mean, it's technically possible. It's been 6 years. He was lower on the chain. So he might theoretically be out, but I don't know. It's possible that he might make an appearance in Cars 3. Nope, I'm just kidding. That is not true. Not gonna happen at all. But his only previous release was in 2013 in a 2-pack with Tubbs Pacer with paint spray, who also appeared during this London chase scene and was also released in the 2017 London Chase series back in Case R. So I already reviewed him. Check out the description below if you want to see that review. Now, there's not much to say for him. He's quite small, actually. Like, if you compare him to Mater here, he is very small. He's one of the smaller cars. Like, look how small he is compared to Mater. but I guess that is accurate because he's based on like a Zape or a Zet. Is that the actual name of it in real life? I'm not entirely sure. I just know Pacers and Gremlins in real life. But you can see the Trunkov logo there that's red on the hood. He only has one side view mirror, which is actually how they were made because he's actually pretty nice. He's not like the rustic lemon that's all beat up. He's pretty nice looking. He's like has a tuxedo on. His license plate reads 19-71 SMK. Don't really know what the SMK is. Maybe 1971 is the year that he was made. Then we have some text toward the right there with a K. K-I-G-Z, Kigs. I'm not entirely sure, guys. That has always been a mystery for me. Here's the base if you're interested in that kind of stuff. I always like to show the base because I know people are interested in it. He's got that mean expression on despite his card looking very, very happy. Now let's compare him to a couple other lemons. I recently reviewed Lightyear Trunkov last week for a birthday request. So if you want to check that video out, the link will be down in the description below. As always, when I bring in a blue car into the screen here, it gets all dark for some reason, but getting back to the cars here, for some reason they have the same license plate number. That doesn't make any sense. They'd be arrested not because they're like crime bosses, but because they have the same license plate. So kind of weird there. Don't know why Mattel does that, but it's kind of their favorite thing to do. Then the other one that we have is Petrov Trunkov here. And they're all the same model. They all have that one side view mirror sticking out. Of course, Petrov is very, very beat up. And he also has the same license, but I mean, come on, these guys would be in jail for a small crime like that. And before we end off the review for Tolga here, I want to show another bodyguard lemon. This is Alexander Hugo with his party hat. Looking pretty awesome there. I wish they released more of these bodyguard lemons, like a black pacer or gremlin. I would love those. Maybe we'll get one this year, but the series is almost complete. We almost know all the cars in the series, and it doesn't seem like we'll get one. However, it is possible. I'm really hoping so. Got my fingers crossed for that as well. Now we have Tim Rimmer. So this guy appeared in Cars 1, and as I kind of mentioned earlier on in the video, he appeared at the Los Angeles International Speedway right in front of the Piston Cup stage where Chick Hicks was when he got his Piston Cup. He was expecting a big celebration. Everyone would be so happy for him, but actually, everyone was booing him, including Tim Rimmer. And you can see that right here. He's got his mouth wide open, yelling, "No!" Not taking any pictures of Chick. So, actually, a pretty funny scene. Chick Hicks looks devastating because he's just like, "No! I thought you guys would all be happy that I won." But I'm sure he is feeling a little bit better now in Cars 3 because we saw a picture of him and he looks like his normal kind of cocky self. But you know, that's kind of a Cars 3 topic. But that's where Tim appeared. Definitely appeared there. Even though his color looks to be a little bit darker, that is definitely him. Now, as for his previous releases, he was only previously released in 2010. One in a 9-pack exclusive to Target, and that's where I got this non-lenticular version, but there was also a lenticular version released in 2010 as a single, and that's where we get the original art for him. So I don't really know why they changed it. I mean, they didn't need to, but I guess, like I said earlier, they're kind of trying to appeal more to kids, like with Tolga Trunkov, along with Tim Rimmer. I'm pretty sure some other ones as well that I talked about in my previous reviews, like Charlie Cargo was one of them as well. So the lenticular version is pretty much the same, but with 4 eyes, and you can check out the little snippet video there if you want to see a little comparison. But getting on to him now, he's got his little pressed Piston Cup sticker there, so he's certified to go and take pictures of Piston Cup related stuff. He has his camera, which, you know, technically it can come out, but, you know, in the package it's unattached, so you can put it in there, but I'm not going to remove it because I don't want to break it. It's kind of fragile, although it's not like extremely fragile. I just don't want to screw it up because that would suck. I'd have to open one of my extras and waste a couple bucks. But his license plate is extremely small. It reads WE6WU, but can't really show up on the camera because it is so small. It's black and it's kind of all mushed together. But he does have a license plate that is probably unique to him, although may not be. Here's the base. not much. It's actually 2010 base, so there's less than there is nowadays. And that's pretty much it for Tim. Tim is actually one of my favorite cameramen because I really like his expression. It adds a lot to his personality, and I definitely know where he appeared in the movie. Some of the other cameramen I'm not entirely sure on, but he's definitely one that I know for sure. Now, he's not a unique model. Well, I guess he is. There are a lot of these kind of like technicalities where it's like they stem from the same model, but they're technically different. So here they are. Now, I guess, I don't know. But basically, he has a mouth plate that has the mouth wide open there. And now Bert, the silver guy here, has a mouth plate that doesn't have a mouth wide open. So that's the difference between their models. Otherwise, they are the same. They have the same holes for the cameras there. And I actually really like Bert as well. I know where he appeared. They have different license plates, which is a plus, absolutely. I like Bert's expression as well. He looks pretty scared. I don't know what he's scared of exactly. I kind of forgot, but I think he appeared in the scene at Radiator Springs when they found McQueen, so I don't really know what he's scared of. Maybe Mac's big trailer, because that is a big trailer. Kind of don't want to get crushed. But anyway, here's Hooman. Hooman is not the same model as Tim Rimmer, but he's kind of similar. He's kind of like a stretched out, thinner version of Tim. Hooman was released in 2015 and 2010, just so you guys know. Same thing with Bert. Whoa, that's a spin there, but yeah, they're different. And then one other car that I want to show, or actually two I have here. Here's Marty Breakburst. They're pretty similar as well, but slightly different. Tim Rimmer has that little spoiler right there. Marty does not. And they also are different in size. And last but not least is the newly acquired Wilmer Flats from Case R with non-lenticular eyes there. They're similar, but also different as you can see. So that's pretty much it for Tim Rimmer. I don't think I have anything else to say for him. He's my third favorite in the case, as you can probably tell. Goes like that. Second to last, here we have Kevin Shiftright, aka Clutch Aid number 121. Now don't get him confused with the other piston car racer, Shifty Drug number 35, who's named Kevin Racing Tire. I don't know why they chose to name two piston car racers Kevin. Kind of strange there. Maybe it was just kind of like an overlooking moment, but whatever. Don't get them confused. I kind of do sometimes. But now he actually, this is very, very cool actually. He came in fourth in the piston car race in the original Cars movie. He was shown right behind Chick Hicks during the last laps of the Motor Speedway of the South race. So it's safe to say that he didn't get like overtaken at any point. I'm pretty sure he did come in fourth, or would that even be second, because all the other ones, the King, Chick Hicks, and Lightning McQueen, tied for first. So does that actually mean Clutch 8 is the number 2 of the piston car race? That is actually pretty cool. So yeah, that, it's true. Check out the screenshots and watch the scene again. So I find that actually really, really cool. So that's where he appeared. Now moving on to his previous releases. He was originally released in the Motor Speedway of the South set that included all 36 of the piston car racers, but was only available to Red Line Club members for around $450. Then in 2009, he received a rubber tire racer release exclusive to Kmart. Clutch Aid synthetic rubber tires. There you go. Pretty cool. Pretty rare too. He's one of the rarer rubber tire racers. All of the racers from the event he was a part of have become very, very rare. So it's kind of weird that that one specific event has wielded so many rare racers. But I guess there just weren't as many cases. So moving on to his other releases. In 2009 and in 2010, he received a Lightyear Tire Launcher release, which was of course with plastic tires. And then 2010 he was released in the same Target exclusive 9-pack that Tim Rimmer was released in. So it's kind of cool that they're matched up together once again 7 years later. So very, very cool in that aspect. And of course, then he took a 7-year break from being released and has returned now. So very, very cool. A very good re-release. I definitely am happy with this one. So let's check out his designs. Clutch Aid there on the hood. Now I would assume Clutch Aid is some sort of like hospital, band-aid company. I'm not really sure, but since it has the cross there, I would assume it's something like that. He has white rims with Lightyear tires there, 121, with his additional secondary sponsors being Mood Springs, No Stall, Vitaline, gaskets, and a bunch more. We have Clutch Aid over here again. There's a Band-Aid, so I'm pretty sure he is a Band-Aid company, or not he, but the company produces Band-Aids. 121 up top with his roof flaps. Clutch Aid again. On the back, we have Clutch Aid as well. I wish there was a little slogan, but unfortunately there's not. And here's the base. Since it's an earlier release, there is not much on the base in terms of codes, information, etc. Definitely unlike today where there's a lot of information. I'll show you guys that with Flik because he is the 2017 release. That's pretty much it for Clutch Aid, aka Kevin Shiftright. He's got his determined expression there. I hope this company returns for Cars 3. I think it will. I mean, he's not one of my favorite piston car racers, but he's definitely cool and it definitely adds to him. They practically came in second place in the first piston car race in Cars 1. So that was definitely a cool thing about him. Now let's move on to the last car of this case. Flik. So, super excited about this one because I actually needed one to replace my previous one. And of course, the screen gets darker because it's a blue car. I don't know why that happens. It just does. So hopefully it doesn't bother you guys too much. But he appeared, like I said earlier, during the ending credits of the first Cars movie when all the townies and other cars from Radiator Springs are watching the car-ified versions of other Pixar movies like A Bug's Life, Toy Story, Monsters, Inc., and those were the three, I believe. So it was pretty cool to see all the circus cars there transform. You know, of course, in the actual movie, they were like bugs, and now they're cars that kind of look like bugs, like Flik here. He'd be like an ant. So very, very cool indeed. As for his previous releases, he was only released in a 2-pack with PT Flea in 2008 and 2009. They have been super rare. I mean, like, $30, $40 around that range. He might have even been in a 2-pack with PT Flea in 2007 as well. I think it was definitely 2008 and 2009, but maybe even 2007 as well. And of course, PT Flea was in the previous case, Case R, so check that review out if you're interested in seeing him. Here's my old Flik, and as you can see, he's quite damaged. Check out the silver headlight there, below the mouth. Looks like he's been through a lot during his life, even though I never really played with him, so it's kind of weird that he's so damaged. Also, the axles are bent. Yeah, that's not how it's supposed to be. So let's compare bases here. Let's check out this new base on Flik. Mattel 1186 MJ, Netherlands M5811 2676 EAA, Disney Pixar made in China. Here we have this. Disney Pixar China 2227EA. And that's it. So definitely a lot more added to the base. But other than that, they do seem to be the same. I think they both have raised eyes as well. That's awesome. There's definitely depth to that. So this is not a conversion from previous releases. And on the hood there, cool stuff. Nice happy expression there. Even though he's in a bit of a pickle at this point in the movie. I feel like the hood and the little hatch in the back here are more defined. Like if you look there, it's definitely more defined around the outer edges, if you ask me. Same thing with the hood as well. And then he's got a silver bumper there, and that is it for Flik. He's like a Volkswagen Bug, of course, but definitely smaller than any other Volkswagen Bug that Mattel has released in the Cars line. And here we have Cowboy Flik. Very, very weird. It's a factory custom from China, so it's not canon to the Cars movies or an official Mattel release, but it's kind of cool, and it was pretty cheap, so I picked one up. Actually, kind of cool, you know, it's pretty good quality for being a factory custom. Cowboy Flik. He's got his nice black hat there. So, that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time for another video. I'm going to try to do quite a few videos this week. I'm going to try. That's why I tell myself every week, and does it work? I don't know. Kind of. Some weeks, but this week, hopefully I'm not too busy. It's shaping up to be a decent week in terms of workload, but not like a terrible week like last week. That was pretty bad last week. I was getting homework every night. Like, write this, now write this, and also write that essay as well. But anyways, out of these 6, which one is your favorite? My favorite is probably Flik. and then Clutch Shape, but they are very, very close. I think I'll have to go with Flik just because he's so rare, so unique, and so cool. So, I believe that's all I want to talk about for this video. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and tomorrow we have some birthday requests coming out for a couple people. I can't believe that. 2 people born on the same day. They're Cars fans, so that's pretty cool. I'll probably release them at the same time or maybe a couple hours apart. And yeah, just kind of having some nice commentary with you guys here. Maybe I'll do a live stream because I like this kind of commentary where it's like, if you guys could like talk back to me, that'd be kind of cool. But maybe one day I'll do a live stream. I'm hoping to do it sometime soon. I just need to figure some stuff out. So I'll see you guys next time for another video. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.